download tool that we put together was born really out of speaking, of course, with clients as always, and realising really a lot of the time we're categorised with clients, that it's either the financials and the budget that we need to look at before we can move on, but there's many clients that do already have that in place and they know inside out what they're doing, what their budget is, their forecast and everything, and it's strategy more so. So, and in all different areas of the business. So the Get Strategic Quick Guide download tool that we put together was all different areas of strategy in all different areas of the business. So that included, well, looking at your reason, your why you're doing things and your values behind what you do. So understanding then the strategy behind that, because that's the message that you're given. There's also in there the customer and analysing your customer and target market, because then there's a strategy that falls behind that. The marketing, of course, the timeline and growth strategy basically around the business. And also the one I really like within it as well is getting someone to interview your business.
I love that. Actually. Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
We did do that exercise with some of our members when we all got together, because actually getting someone from the outside to interview you about your business and how your message comes across, and then asking them to look at the business from different angles and what do they see, is the message clear about what you're trying to deliver.
For sure.
That's a really interesting part of it too.
But I think ultimately for me it's always been about the structure of the business, because it doesn't matter if you're on your own, it doesn't matter if you've got a large team, you've got to structure the business for it to work for you rather than the other way around. So the structure is key, but there's this huge confusion between the kind of business structure or business strategy and the marketing strategy and the overall strategy. Like, it's just very confusing.
Yes.
And I think ultimately when we were really discussing it and highlighting with a lot of our members, okay, we've got to work ahead, because that's what we do. We're constantly working ahead. We're constantly working at least 6 months in advance, because we've got to kind of, I should say 3 months, I'm not going to be too harsh, but at least 3 months in advance to kind of foresee where you are. But you should know by September, you should know your strategy for 2024.
Yeah.
And a lot of time, what we find is decision making that is so kind of short, sharp. I'm just going to get this machine last minute. Oh, I've launched it. It's great for my existing clients. But actually, I've not really done a campaign impactful enough for new clients, hopefully, that I can bring into the business. So it becomes decision making that is a little
reactive.
Reactive. And once it's reactive, there's no growth in the strategy. There's absolutely nothing. And I'm taking the example where we're talking about this with Tiffaine, who works in France, doing the same as us, and she went to kind of for a slimming treatment with a brand, and in this salon they have 4 different machines that is all about slimming, but not one person actually mentioned the other 4 to create a program. That she just went in for that one treatment and that's it, that's all we're going to do. So there's no program behind. So it shows you that a lot of time we're not strategic.
No.
We just think, I've got this machine, she's coming in for this machine, and that's what I'm going to do for this lady. When if we think about programs, if you're launching a skin, I don't know, a slimming kind of clinic within your business, it's not just, I've got this machine to make it work, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's that strategy behind it. But if you don't know who you're targeting, you don't know who you are as a business.
How to target, and that's another couple of areas within it as well, is pulling together, strategy for your socials, but not just socials, it's socials, networking, website and everything else. So there's documents and tools that support you along the way, because again a lot of the time you just don't know where to start. And as you mentioned earlier, it is confusing, especially if you haven't done it before. And the roles and responsibilities within the business, sort of analysing them, and what does each person do, and actually, are they doing the right thing? Or is that what you want from that role? So there's different elements, but I think what's nice about it and is that you can buy an off-the-shelf formula as such to create a more strategic way of thinking in the business. It doesn't necessarily have to form any part of coaching. You know, you can just work through it yourself. There's definitely there's all explanations there and examples as well. And I think it's just a great tool for people that don't necessarily want the coaching or just want this aspect and that's it. And of course we'd always be there to support anyway if somebody wanted to ask questions.
Sure.
But I think it's just a great little tool to start to think in a strategic way in the business from all angles.
But it's also having that thought process, isn't it? When it was put together, it was very much right, where do I start? Where do I want to go?
Yes.
And how am I going to get there through the key elements of the business? And when you are in the business on an operation level, your head is in it. You're just not even thinking on a strategy level, because you're just thinking, oh, right, what's happening tomorrow? Lossy fund of sick. I don't know where I'm going. So it becomes too intense. So having time, and we do suggest, take time out, go somewhere different, isn't it? Like a hotel lobby, somewhere that you quite like, near the seaside, it doesn't matter, and have a thought process, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, it really helps to get that headspace. We speak about that a lot as well, but whenever you're doing anything like this, rather than kind of dipping in and out of it when you're answering calls, seeing clients, chatting to the team, whatever it may be, it's really important that you just take that step back. You know, you could probably get that done in a day if you really wanted to focus. Or you can take your time over it. It really doesn't matter, but it is important.
If you've got a manager, I quite like it. If you could do that with a manager, or maybe do it on your own and then do it with a manager.
Yes, to see their
perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's really important that they have a big input into not only how they look after the team, but running of the business as well, and the strategy behind what you're doing, because they need to understand that fully to be able to deliver their role.
Well, so they might see stuff that you don't see, because you might not be working there all the time, so they're not seeing that, isn't it? So you've got to make sure that they're impacted in what you want to create ultimately.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we'll probably say it on the comments or something. But if anyone wanted to look at it, it's obviously on our website, but it can be purchased on Etsy.
So all you have to do now is press the subscribe button and join us every week for an Insight Chat.
And if you have any burning questions that we haven't yet answered, then just pop in the comments below or send us an email and we can include them in one of our weekly chats.
I've started this amazing community of like-minded salon owners to join us on a monthly basis with our Insight Chat subscription.
Yeah, on that chat as well, you'll also get access to lots of free downloads and content that can really support you in your business.
And thank you so much for listening.
And we'll see you next time.